Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Penny and I'm so excited for this video because I have found an amazing new dupe that I wanted to share with you guys because anytime I find a great dupe, I want to share it with you. I love hearing about dupes. I love saving money. If you like saving money, go ahead and like this video. So I was recently on the Sephora website and I noticed that Sephora collection came out with a new baked multitasking palette. And here it is. This is really, really pretty. This is only $20. And the first thing that I noticed when I saw this palette, and I got it in the mail, was it reminded me of a palette that I bought like a year ago that was way more expensive, which is the Hourglass Lightning Edit Mini. And this palette is gorgeous and amazing. I love the colors. I love the gold packaging. I love the mirror, but this is $58 and this is $20. So there's a huge difference and the colors look very, very similar. They're both baked palettes. They both have bronzers, highlighters, blushes. They're both face palettes. They look very similar. So why don't we just go ahead and try it and see if they're a dupe. So this baked face palette is in the shade Captivate, and this comes with a matte bronzer, a matte blush, a shimmery blush, and then a highlighter. And then the Hourglass Ambient palette, this comes with a matte blush, a soft focus setting powder, a highlighter, and then a shimmery bronzer. So I would say the colors are very, very similar, as you can tell. They're not 100% the same, but I think the concepts of the palette are very, very similar. So that's why I'm excited to go ahead and try this. There is nothing on my cheeks or my face besides, I just have foundation. I haven't put bronzer, any blush, anything else on my cheeks because I'm gonna go ahead and test these out. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Hourglass on the left-hand side, and then we're gonna go ahead and use the Sephora collection on the right-hand side and compare and see if there's a difference, if they look the same, if they're day and night. Let's go ahead and try it. So let's go ahead and try the blush first from the Hourglass palette. And you know, I have to say the Hourglass palette, I just love that it's really easy to build it up. Hourglass blushes, they cater more to people who are interested in a really natural everyday look. It's not a heavy pigmented color payoff like a MAC blush, but I think honestly that just depends on what makeup look you're going for. Some people like really pigmented blushes, some people don't. I think it all depends on your personal preference. For me, for an everyday look, I love this. Do you see it's like a pretty mauve color? I will say this color is a bit cool tone, but it gives me a nice flush of color on the cheeks. Let's go in with the bronzer, and there's a bit of shimmer on this one. And I will say the bronzer on my skin tone, it doesn't really show up that much. And I'm not a big bronzer girl anyway, so it's not like a big deal. But I think if you have tan to deep skin tones, this bronzer is not like gonna be a favorite. And then let's go ahead and put in the soft focus setting powder. Pat that in. And then let's go ahead and get the blush. Ooh, do you see that instant dewy skin look? It looks like, it doesn't look like a shimmery in your face. This is not a Fenty highlighter that's just too much. It's a very natural, dewy, creamy kind of look, even though it's a powder. Do you see that? It's very pretty. I'm loving that. And then let's go ahead and take the Sephora collection multitasking baked face palette in Captivate, and let's try this on the right-hand side. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and let's just start with the bronzer. It's a matte bronzer. Okay, this bronzer is definitely a lot more pigmented than the Hourglass one. And I love that it actually shows up on my skin. So yay, that's a huge plus. Do you see that? I feel like my right side is a lot more warmed up. And then this is the blush. Ooh, this is really pretty. I will say, I also think the blush is a lot more pigmented than the Hourglass one. Like I put a little bit on and I think that's all we need. The blushes look very similar, as you can tell, but I will say the Hourglass one is a lot more cool tone, and the Sephora collection one is a lot more red and warm and more pigmented. So, and then there's a shimmery blush shade. Let's go ahead and put the shimmery blush on top just to see what it looks like. Okay, that's pretty. It gives it more of a highlighter blush in one kind of look. But you can go ahead and use the shimmery blush all on its own. And then let's go ahead with the highlighter. The highlighter is definitely more gold. It's pretty. Do you see that? It's really, if this looks, in terms of the texture, it looks very similar to the Hourglass one, and the finish is the same. It's like that kind of dewy, lit from within, very soft, focused glow. It's not that crazy Fenty in your face kind of glow. Do you see that? The glows are looking very, very similar. Okay. Yeah, so we just went ahead and applied, let me open my palette here. The Hourglass on the left-hand side, and then the Sephora collection on the right. Hi ladies, so this is the finished look. I have the Hourglass Ambient setting powders on my left-hand side. Ooh, are you seeing that glow here? And then I have the Sephora collection multitasking baked palette in Captivate on the right-hand side. And girlfriend, they are looking the same. I'm getting nice dewy skin vibes, a nice bronze warmed up skin, some fresh rosy cheeks, a nice pretty dewy highlighter. I am loving this look. They look the same, and this is $58 and this is $20. So guess what? I recommend you go to Sephora and go ahead and pick up this palette. I will say, I think this palette would look better on tan to deep skin tones, or maybe like deep medium tan to deep skin tones, because the colors are a lot more rich and warm. All right, ladies, that's all I have for today. Please go ahead and leave me a comment below. Let me know if you're interested in this palette. What do you think of the look I have going on? Do you prefer the Hourglass palette? Are there any other baked palettes that I haven't heard of that are amazing that I should try? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. All right, thank you, ladies. Have a great weekend.